Before we get started, does anyone want to get hurt? Consider this mercy. I am inevitable.
What's up, and welcome to the Comic Blast Podcast. My name is Keenan, one of the hosts. To the right of me is this stud-looking of a guy with black jeans. You never wear black jeans.
I've been wearing black jeans a lot lately.
I'm rubbing off on you.
They just go with everything.
You
By the way, I'm Grayson.
No, his name is Stud. Today.
Yes, I'm Stud
This
Schrader.
Peter Parker-looking dude next to me.
That means
That's
so
a compliment.
much to me.
I know it is. Yeah, that's why I say it. Welcome to the Comic Blast Podcast.
First time in a long time.
Yeah, we should mention that.
That we're recording in person.
Yeah.
It was one of our goals for 2020 to record more in the studio, because what happened is last semester, kind of that entire last 4 months of 2019, we quit recording in here as much because it was such a hassle. And we're not going to do it every week because sometimes it is just that much of a pain. But I was I told him, I was like, we got to try to like get it in here. I was like, I'll make you dinner. I'll get you coffee. I'll pay for your gas.
He definitely tried to wine and dine me into coming
and
over
I'm still
here.
down. I'm like, because it's like, I don't want it to be a thing where you just have to come here just to record. I want you to incentivize you, you know?
Yeah.
Even though the podcast I know is enough for you.
Yeah,
It's just,
you did offer coffee. I brought my own coffee.
And then he brought his own coffee, and then I just felt like I had no purpose in life.
No, but when you did say that, I was like, yeah, I'm down. Like when you said coffee, I don't even think I read the first two texts about the other stuff. But I saw coffee, and I was like, yeah, I could do that.
Coffee is always in high supply in my household. So if you ever need coffee, hit me up.
Coyote Coffee.
Yeah, this is just a cup from yesterday. We're not sponsored by them.
You're just using it.
I'm just using it because what I'll do is I'll get a to-go cup, and then I'll reuse it for a couple days, like in the mornings when I'm like,
that's smart.
Commuting to school, because I hate the way coffee tastes in those metallic cups right there
that I'm drinking from.
Keenan has. It's a great cup.
Yeah,
super cool.
It is.
But I hate metallic cups.
Yep, I have this one that I got from Galaxy's Edge. Neither Grayson and I can read it because it's just a bunch of gibberish when you try to translate it.
No, there's no way. That's definitely Orabesh.
It is, but I've tried to I went through and I wrote down letter by letter what everything was, and I was like, this does not make any sense. I'm like,
what?
I have no idea.
Hold on. Well, keep it going. I'm going to try to figure this out real quick because I need to know.
Grayson's going to try to prove that I'm illiterate.
No, not that you're illiterate, but so that's G. Then we've got A.
Galaxy's Edge.
It's
okay, I must have been looking up something different.
I'm like,
then.
what are you at? Like,
is that what it says?
Yeah, it's Galaxy's Edge.
Wow.
Right?
Okay, so I must have looked up a different
I'm just trying to make sure the beginning of that first letter is
decoder
it's Galaxy's Edge,
whatever it is.
Which is, I just feel really stupid that I didn't get that. I was trying to like recognize the patterns in the letters because I know some letters in Orabesh, but not all. By the way, Orabesh is the like galactic alphabet in Star Wars. It's literally just the English alphabet, but they look different.
Yep.
It's like Arek, Besh, Kresh, whatever, Frick.
Babu,
Frick. No, Frick is not one. But, yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. Anyways, if this is your first time listening to the podcast, welcome. We welcome you to subscribe, follow us, share us if you enjoyed the episode. And as always, you guys can follow us on social media. We're on Instagram and Twitter at comicblast_. If you want to DM us or talk to us about the episode or whatever else, you can do that.
Please do.
Yeah.
Also, our personal channels. We don't ever directly say them because like we expect you guys to go check out the Comic Blast one.
Yeah.
But I'll just say it for yours is at Keenan Creates, and mine is at Schradester25 on Instagram and at Schradester8 on Twitter. I wish I could synchronize those, but I think somehow they don't add up. It was the same thing back with the podcast one. So if you ever want to send us any DMs or anything, we don't. Keenan doesn't check them all the time.
I never check my DMs.
I check my DMs
Not my personal
all the
ones.
time. So yeah.
Here's the thing. I'll check my DMs if people stop sending me weird stuff. Like that's the problem. Like I'm afraid. Like I'll see like in my DMs it'll be like so and so sent you a photo, and I'm like, of what? I'm like, why are you sending me a photo?
Like
out of
it's
nowhere?
like one of the ones where it's like it doesn't show you. It's like Snapchat.
There's no preview. It's,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Stuff like that. So and I've kind of run into some problems with people just sending me some really like absurd or weird things. So stop being freaks.
I was about to say, quit being babu freaks.
Yeah, so I pretty much like, for the most part, I have most of my notifications turned off. But if I like see something that I like on Instagram, I always, I'll DM somebody or replies to their story. So
I mean, for anybody who he doesn't answer to, I mean, he doesn't even answer my DMs. So like I'll send him stuff and I was like, no response.
I don't even like texting.
No.
I just don't like texting.
Yeah.
I wait until it builds up where I got like 4 messages and then I'm like, all right.
It's like your email.
Now I feel a little bit of weight on this. I need
to start calling him.
Yeah, I'll answer every call. I'll answer every call.
He's just a traditional old man.
Yeah, it's just the generation I come from, I guess. I don't know what it is.
Yeah. Wait, are you a millennial?
Yeah.
I'm Gen Z.
I know.
Oh God, no. Ooh, don't like that.
Millennials are cool. We're underrated.
I mean, sure. But you wouldn't have your awesome memes without Gen Z.
We gave everybody the internet and social media, so you're welcome. And memes. We came up with that stuff.
You also gave us depression, so.
Who did that?
Just kidding. Anyway.
Yeah, we have a lot of stuff to talk about on the episode.
Do we?
No. But I just like to make it sound like we've been productive.
Yeah, I was about to say, I love how Keenan, like, I feel like I always sabotage him because every week he's like, yeah, we have like a lot. Like, he's trying to sound all professional. I'm over here just like goofing off because I'm like, I'm just a goofball.
Yeah, we both are.
Yeah.
But
I'm notorious at work for just being an idiot, like a chatterbox of an idiot. And you know what? That's okay.
You own it.
I own it. I do.
Real quickly, we just want to thank our patrons.
Yes.
So thank you so much to Jess for being a sponsor of every episode that we've done.
Love you, Jess. I know you're going to DM me after this because you always do.
Every episode. Yeah. Also, like, speaking of Jess, she always screenshots when she's like listening to it on Spotify.
Yep. She's always giving us clout.
If any of you guys do that, of course, like tag us in it, and we'll follow you and shout you out for doing that. So thank you. And then quickly, Joseph, who's one of our patrons, we want to say thank you so much.
Loyal and faithful Joseph.
Yeah, he listens to the episodes and shares them, so we really appreciate it. We don't have a ton of patrons, but I mean,
we would like for them to grow. So if you want to become part of the Patreon family of Comic Blast Official, patreon.com/Comic Blast Official.
Yeah.
And you can see all of the tiers of rewards and stuff we have on there. And yeah.
Even with that being said, though, like because of the support that we have right now, we're it's given us what exactly we need right now because it helps us pay for certain things like ads, and
we use it for stuff for the podcast.
Yeah,
to be clear, we do not take your
covered.
money.
Yeah, we're covered right now thanks to the the supporters that we do have.
Yes.
So we're just all about really just building the community and building the podcast and trying to reach new people and all that good stuff. But
that's the end game.
Yes. So yeah, we're coming up on phase 2 of the podcast. Next week is going to be a year for us because we started right after the Super Bowl last year.
Somehow this has been a short year and also a really long year.
I'll say this: last year kind of flew by. January has been the longest month of my life.
I saw someone tweet. It was like those Instagram pages that like screenshot like Twitter posts or whatever, and they like credit them.
Cheaters.
It's just like it's pretty much. It just said it's like it feels like January 74th.
It does.
I'm like, dude, this has been a really long month.
New Year's feels like ages. We took a quick break in December, and then we came back around New Year's.
Yeah.
And that episode, I mean, it feels like forever ago. We still have like three or four more days.
I mean, I remember like, God. Yeah, I mean, it feels like it's been at least 5 weeks. Like, I don't know why, but every single week has just felt so long to me. I don't know, man. We need help.
Is that depression?
I'm not depressed, okay?
Yeah, let's talk about some of the stuff that came out over the week. We'll start with maybe the Clone Wars trailer.
Yep.
that got released.
You didn't watch it.
I didn't watch it because I'm like actually catching up on Clone Wars.
As you should.
So I want to be prepared. They announced it's February 21st is the release date.
21st, something like it's 21st or a couple of days within that realm. Do you know? Because I don't know, and I've seen it both ways. It's not going to be an episode dump. It's going to be one episode. Is it going to be one episode?
Yeah, it's going to be like a week.
Okay.
One a week. I think it's
good.
I saw somebody say it lasts until almost May, around May.
If it's 12 episodes, then yeah.
Yeah.
God, it's going to be freaking forever. But then again, that's how Clone Wars originally came out.
Yeah.
So, I mean, except for the Netflix Lost season thing.
We're
that they
conditioned to get everything exactly when we want it.
We're kind of spoiled.
Yeah.
And so I'm part of me is glad they're doing this, but also I know it's because they're just trying to get more of that Disney Plus money from us.
Yeah, I mean, that's how, like, because they're not doing advertisements.
Yep.
That's how they're making their money, is keeping people hooked on the platform.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean,
because I remember, I think I was talking to my dad, and he said, and I didn't see this tweet of yours, but you said you hadn't been on Disney Plus since The Mandalorian ended.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, I haven't either.
Yeah, I haven't even. Well, okay, actually, this past week, this has been since I've tweeted that. I actually started watching the Aladdin movie, the live action one.
It's on Disney Plus.
Yeah, it came out on Disney Plus.
Oh wow!
Like a week or two ago, I think it was. And Aladdin's like my favorite Disney movie of all time. I know you just recently watched it, which is ridiculous.
I watched it back in like June.
Yeah, that's recent. Compared to me in 1992.
Yeah, true. You saw it in 1992?
Oh, I started watching it when I was like 1, so it was like probably 93.
Jesus.
It came out in 92.
Yeah.
So, yeah, in comparison. But yeah, I went on Disney Plus to watch a little bit of Aladdin. I haven't finished it, but it was good so far.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I've just basically been waiting for Clone Wars to actually get back on there.
Same. Yeah. So this trailer.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I'm afraid to say anything because I don't want to like spoil stuff for you if you like don't know. Well, like, you know what happens in the Clone Wars, but like you haven't seen it all as the thing.
Yeah,
right?
I haven't really seen it unfold.
Okay.
There's some characters that like I know of them.
How
but
far
I'm
are you
not,
into
like,
the show right now?
Really, season 3, about midway through the 3rd season.
Are you watching it chronologically?
Yeah. So I know I'm kind of like everywhere with it.
Yeah.
But
well, I mean,
it is what it is.
What do you mean chronologically?
I'm kind of chronologically like going on the Star Wars website and looking at which one goes.
Okay. Yeah. I have to tell people that all the time. There are people are like, yeah, I want to start watching Clone Wars. I'm like, okay, watch it chronologically.
And they're like, duh, I'm gonna watch it chronologically.
and I'm like, no. The episodes on the seasons are not right, and I wish Disney would change that to make it they feel like it should just be like a not season 1 or something, but just like I don't know, put them in like arcs or something, you know?
Yeah.
Like just have like a list of arcs and then like put them in chronological order, or I don't know how they would do it, but maybe like even phases, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, the trailer, it's been a couple days since it came out, so it's been a while. I think I watched it twice.
Yeah.
But man, I'm so excited. Like I'm not even kidding, like it's this thing of me and my friends were always talking about how we're always in a perpetual Star Wars phase, but sometimes it's far stronger than others. Like I'm always like into Star Wars, you know. That's one of those things that I'm like I don't have to be like in the mood for Star Wars. Like I can almost always be. Yeah. There's sometimes where I'm just like enthralled with Star Wars, you know? And so it was like Rise of Skywalker was like, yeah, I'm like in that entire period, and Mandalorian and Jedi Fallen Order, Star Wars. Then it died down for a couple weeks. And then as soon as that trailer came out, and I'm like back into the Star Wars thing. I've got the Count Dooku book. I'm reading that for my class. Yeah. So I'm like more Star Wars. I'm writing like short stories and dialogues and like for this inevitable book that I do or that we do. So it's just been constant like, oh, well, here I go Star Wars and again.
Yeah.
Like
the thing that's good is that it's good stuff.
Yes.
Like everything is starting to trend upward. At least for me. Everything's
kind
of like trending upward. I know that there's like a lot of turmoil with fans and potential other scripts and all this other nonsense. I've been like right there with you, like since Jedi Fallen Order really hit. Or maybe The Mandalorian when that started. Was
it Mandalorian then Jedi Fallen? Yeah, they came out the same week.
Yeah, same week. Ever since then, like I've just kind of been on a high for Star Wars, and then Galaxy's Edge just kind of was.
Dude, That's another
everything I
thing. I'm
wanted.
going there in possibly. So it's the 28th as we are recording this, January 28th.
Yeah.
So roughly, I may be going like Valentine's Day weekend, I think.
It's like I'm so happy. Like I
Someone
want
wants
everyone.
to be my girlfriend and go to Star Wars.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I'm-
DM Grayson. and-
Please. I just need a date, you know?
Yeah.
You want to be
do.
my Valentine? Dude, we'll go on Rise of the Resistance together. Dude, you can be my co-pilot in the Millennium Falcon.
Ooh. Where do
Yeah.
I apply for that?
True. God dang. Yeah, I wish we
it's-
could go together. One day we'll go.
Yeah, I've like actually been, because I got some like vacation time that I'm coming up on pretty soon.
Oh, nice.
And I'm like, I might actually have to go.
Again?
Yeah, I'm getting my taxes back and like.
I just need that coffee. I just need that coffee.
Dude, Batu's coffee is like, I posted, like, I actually went on Reddit and I posted did I tell you this? I went on Reddit and I posted in the Star Wars thing. I'm like, if anyone works at Galaxy's Edge and can sneak me some coffee, I will pay you for it. Like, that's how like obsessed I am with this coffee.
Really? Did anybody?
serious.
Did you get any responses?
Nobody did.
Did you? Is there a
some
Galaxy's
guy-
Edge subreddit?
I don't know.
Okay.
That's interesting. No, I don't know. But there was some guy that posted on it. He's like, you can buy it in this store or whatever. But he was talking about actually the drip coffee, and I'm like, I don't want the drip coffee. I want a bag of it that I can make at my house. And there's no information on it anywhere on the internet. It's impossible to find.
That's great. Next time if I go before you, I will make sure personally to be like, see, they're going to be in character, so it's going to be so hard for them to actually say it. But I'm like, I need to know where I can buy. Like,
you know how you
this.
get them out of character? Ask to speak to a chef, one of the chefs.
Really?
And say that. Just say that you have like an allergy to something, and then the guy will come up and he'll be like dead serious about everything. Other than that, everybody's in character to the point where it almost gets annoying sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, can we just have a normal conversation?
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't care how many credits this thing costs. I'm like, you should just tell me. Like, can you give me a straight answer?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm ready to go, but like I'm trying to make a list of things that I want to buy, because I told myself, I was like, I am going to get a lightsaber when I go there, but then I was like, part of me is like, no, I really don't. The only lightsaber that I would buy in the park there, and they don't sell it, I know they don't, is because I look up a ton of reviews for like the merchandising and stuff, and that would be Leia's lightsaber from Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah, they don't have that yet.
That would be the one saber I'd get. I thought about getting Ben Solo's from.
That's new.
Yeah, because that's a new one.
Yeah.
But I was like, I want Leia's, because I think Leia's is
I
so
agree.
cool. Have you seen it? Like the pictures, the HD pictures of it?
Yeah.
It's like rose gold.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's such a Leia lightsaber.
Yeah, I would say it's totally Leia.
Anyway, back to Clone Wars. We kind of went on the whole thing of like Star Wars phase, but I mean, yeah, it's the charm, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, this was such a sick trailer. And it's crazy that like it's so soon. Like the show is so soon, because I remember when this got announced that Clone Wars was coming back, and that was almost 2 years ago. Well, it was a year and a half ago. It was July of 2018, and I remember, and I thought it was going to be a lot sooner, but then I'm like, finally, it's here. It looks incredible. I'm so excited. I hope the arcs are dense. I hope there's no filler, anything. I don't think there will be, because it's only 12, and Clone Wars had bigger seasons. And even with those big seasons, like, there were still a lot of arcs that weren't filler, especially in the later half of the show.
I can't see there being any filler, just knowing that this is like Dave Filoni's passion project, like his thing, and to know that he didn't get to finish it the way he wanted to. Like, he's like, I got to take advantage of this, you know?
Yes. So I think there's going to be, from what I heard, 3 arcs. You've got the Bad Batch. You've got 2 regarding Ahsoka. One is her basically on Coruscant, and one is her on like Mandalore, like the Siege of Mandalore stuff.
Yeah.
But I think that's also not going to be just like, oh, it's just about Ahsoka.
Yeah.
Because from the clips you can see that there's a lot. Well, you haven't seen it, but there's a lot going on, and it's almost confirmed that it's going to take place during the same time as Revenge of the Sith.
That's dope.
Because essentially the pitch was for the Siege of Mandalore was that the Chancellor gets kidnapped, and Anakin and Obi-Wan have to go get the Chancellor.
Yeah.
And right before he goes, he meets up with Ahsoka and is like, here's these 501st guys. They're painted in orange now. Pretty dope. you have to go deal with Maul on Mandalore at the same time.
Yeah.
Which means like, so I don't know how long the Siege of Mandalore would be, because if that's the case, that means it would be 9 months, because with the, the birth cycle of, the 9 months pregnancy of Padme, because she's like, I mean, maybe at least, or at most maybe a month, pregnant. And so there's a thing of like them like touching hands, Anakin and Padme touching hands.
I did see that.
She's a hologram or whatever. So people are joking that like, Anakin's so stupid. How did he not know she was pregnant? And I'm like, it's the same time as Revenge of the Sith.
Right.
Clearly.
Yeah.
Like she's even wearing the outfit from Mustafar, which is
that's cool.
Interesting. Because they like to reuse some of the same outfits, but I'm so ready like to finally just get this conclusion. And what I want to do is after this season ends, I think I may go back, rewatch Clone Wars again.
Yeah. With
that final season at like just kind of all in one kind of long, not like a binge. I'm not going to watch it all in like 2 weeks, but just let it go through and then go to Rebels and rewatch Rebels, because that way it'll feel like a really complete story. Because did you see the thing in the trailer of like the Rebels character that was in there?
No.
So it's not a spoiler.
Okay.
But the day the trailer came out, I was sitting in class trying to see the trailer. Very busy day, and I forgot about it. And I was like, crap. It hit 2 p.m. I was like, I got to watch the trailer. But what happened is my friend texted me, and he was like, dude, this trailer, man. And I was like, I can't watch it. And he was like, all I'll say is this. And I was like, no, don't spoil it. But then he sent a picture, and it's of them at like, not the Jedi Council room, but that table, that like hologram table that they sit at in Revenge of the Sith. And you can see Padawan Kanan Jarrus.
Oh, that's so
with
cool.
his master. And I read the comic and I was like, yes. I was like, yes. And it's such a subtle little thing.
Yeah.
But it makes me so happy that I'm like, Dave Filoni, like, he got a little like wink in there because, since he got Rebels. And Kanan is like my favorite character. So it's Kanan and Ahsoka are tied, and then Ben Solo number 2. So
that's crazy. Ben Solo number 2.
Dude, he shot up there, man.
In such a short amount of time. I don't blame you, though. I mean, like, I can't say anything negative about that.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, he's my favorite live-action Star Wars character.
Yeah, that's insane.
Which I never thought I would. I'm like, he's so edgy. But then, like, the more I was like, I love Adam Driver, and I love him. So I was like, and he's just so good in Rise of Skywalker. So... yeah.
You got this like childlike smile on your face. And you're like staring off.
I'm like staring at a wall like,
yeah.
Ben Solo.
Dude, I could see like the like cartoon cloud coming above your head.
I'm just seeing him like, because right before we started recording, I showed Keenan this awesome like edit.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever posted it on my stories, but I may post it tomorrow right after we upload this. And so if you're watching this, then you can go check it out. And I'll put it in my stories. But it's of Ben Solo at the end of Rise of Skywalker running to Holding Out for a Hero by Bonnie Tyler. And it's so perfect.
Yeah, it's like perfectly
he's
timed.
like running. He's got the blaster, and he's like fighting the Knights of Ren. And it's so like, if you watch Shrek 2, that's the song that plays when Shrek in his human form is going to save Fiona.
Yeah.
Shrek 2 is the best Shrek movie, by the way. Just letting you know. Definitive ranking of the Shrek movies here on the What?
It. Shrek 1's pretty good.
Okay. You're watching the Shrek movies.
Right after Harry Potter.
You're going to trigger me right now because you still haven't done that either.
You watched Aladdin 6 months ago for the first time.
But Shrek's better than Aladdin. Harry Potter's better than Aladdin. I'm sorry. That's the truth.
You can, like, maybe Harry Potter. I can't argue about that. Like, I can't argue about Harry Potter.
Yo, Shrek is freaking awesome. I'm not even joking, by the way. Like, I love the Shrek franchise. Shrek 3, cool. you can toss it in the trash. Shrek 3 is not good. The only good moment is like,
I didn't even know there was a third one.
There's 4.
There's 4 Shrek movies?
They're working on Shrek 5, yeah.
Shut up.
Yeah. So Shrek 1 is a classic. And,
why? I mean, like, why are there 5?
Because they're good, man. Well, not Shrek 3. Well, Shrek 3 is not bad, but it's pointless. But Shrek 2 is just expands the universe so much. It's so great. And then the humor, by the way, is so funny. I'd like to think that a lot of my humor comes from Shrek. And then Shrek 4 is pretty good. When a couple years back, me and my friends, we had like a Shrek binge, and I was so like, it's good. Shrek is good. Okay,
Cool.
Okay, boomer.
I'm still thinking about Aladdin right now. Sorry.
Freaking Aladdin.
So the Obi-Wan series, man.
Oh yeah.
What do you think about that? What do you think? What do you
got
think is
delayed,
happening?
and I got
Where are
delayed,
we
and I'm
going?
sad. What are you saying?
I don't know.
Oh man, you can tell the difference in quality of when we record in person versus when we record online.
Yes,
When
I
we're
can
online,
see you
it's
staring
so-
off into the distance.
Yeah, that's what they're better. We say that they're better, but they're also worse.
Yeah.
Like, because it's like we just get
so true.
like we get better discussions, but we also like, dude, the organizational like method of it is just thrown out the freaking window.
We kind of go off topic a lot regularly, but then when we're in person, we really can go off topic fast.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know what happened. You said something about something a few minutes ago, and immediately I thought it was Spider-Man PS4, and in my head I'm like, don't bring it up, because I would literally spend 15 minutes talking about
no.
Spider-Man PS4. That's how
Well, now you have to talk about it.
But I am. Spider-Man PS4 is the greatest video game to ever be made. It's just facts. You can't argue with it.
Better than Halo 3?
Yeah,
Keenan.
I'm dead serious.
No, I don't know.
I don't know. I started playing it again.
Yeah.
You have yet to do so.
I've only played it once. I mean, I love Spider-Man PS4. It's in my top 10 games.
It's crazy that I can play this game and I forget like little things, and then I'm like, wow, like the whole sequence that they showed at E3. You know, when he's getting the crane or whatever and chasing the
Dope
helicopter.
sequence.
Everything about that is just like my heart's pounding.
Yeah.
Anyways, it's the greatest game ever made. Obi-Wan.
Obi-Wan, greatest Spider-Man of all time.
Yeah. I mean, he might do something with Spider-Man with all of his free time he's having now.
Oh, yeah.
So a couple of weeks ago, there was like that rumor that Obi-Wan was going to be canceled, which
Canceled?
it was like a few weeks ago, and then it got shot down. Like reports were out and like, this isn't true. And then now I see why people got that rumor, because there's obviously where there's smoke, there's fire.
Yep.
Somebody saw the smoke but assumed the wrong thing, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they're delaying production on the series.
Yeah.
Ewan McGregor has stated that it's still going to come out on the date that they originally planned, which we don't know what that date is.
Yeah.
And I think it's stupid to say that it's going to come out because you're setting expectations now.
I'm getting worried, man.
the biggest bummer about the report is that they're cutting it from 6 episodes to 4.
Yeah. At that point, make a movie.
Yeah, that's what I said.
I'm like, you probably would make more money off of it that way. You'd have a higher budget, and it would be about the same length, because we don't know how long the episodes are. We thought the Mandalorian episodes are going to be an hour. That was not true.
minutes.
And I'm like, if the Kenobi episodes are 30 to 40 minutes, that's literally just like a long movie.
Yeah.
Like, that would be less than 3 hours.
Yeah, I mean, unless they really want to take advantage of this Disney Plus thing, but it's really concerning to me that they don't have a script. So essentially, they're not happy with the script that they have, so they're rewriting it.
There's all this stuff like Kathleen Kennedy isn't happy with it, and they're like,
Yeah.
she's not happy with it, so it must be good. That's what I heard.
There's a big difference. Like when you look at The Mandalorian, it feels like it's all Jon Favreau's doing.
Yeah.
And then Kathleen's just on there for like a photo shoot,
For a photo
just
shoot.
be like, I'm here.
Wow, great job, guys. Wow.
Yeah. Where this one, she probably has her hands in this a little bit more because it's a big deal.
Yeah.
And
sure.
I don't like the fact that they don't have a script that they're happy with, and they're already saying that it's going to be 4 episodes. I'm like, the script should probably determine how long those episodes are and how many episodes there are. Right?
I'm of this thing of the opinion that if you want to make it the best you can be, don't try to limit yourself so much. Like, write the script.
See, what they're doing now is they're going to try to write a script into
4
4 episodes rather than just writing the script for it.
Yeah.
And then finding out how long it should be, Obviously, you want to close out an episode, so I get that. With TV, you have to close it out properly. But yeah, it seems like they're writing them. they're basing the writing on how many episodes there's going to be.
Yeah.
I don't like
it.
that.
It just worries me. But then again, would they have done the same thing for the 6 episodes?
I have no idea.
Did The Mandalorian do that with the 8 episodes? It's hard. It's weird. I feel like I need to investigate more on like TV production.
It's
and how they do things, but it's just like I want it to be like a fully thought out story without any filler stuff, but I want it to utilize all it can, and I don't want that to be like either hindered or elongated because of the 4 episodes. I'm like I want it to be like them to put their all into it.
Yeah, because you could say like with the 6 episode thing,
yeah,
you could be like, well, they have to stretch it out now, and now they're gonna have more filler, you know, stuff like that. That's why I just don't like the idea of saying this is how many episodes it's gonna be.
Yeah.
Rather than let's figure out what the story is, and then write the script, and then go from there.
That should have been the first thing.
Yeah, and well, the thing is, they said that, they said at Star Wars Celebration when this got announced, or was it Star Wars Celebration they announced this, or was it Comic-Con? Or no, it was the Disney thing. What is it?
D23.
D23, I think is where they announced that.
Yeah, it was.
And Kathleen and Ewan McGregor were both on stage, and they're like, we're done with the script, we're ready to go and start production on this thing. Like they said that the scripts were finished, and I think there's a lot of frustration with Star Wars fans, rightfully so, because every single project that they work on runs into some sort of production issues.
Yep.
Except for The Mandalorian, as far as we know. There has not been any other project that hasn't run into issues. And that's what's frustrating about it as a fan.
Yeah. It just feels like, as much as we want to deny it, but like it feels there's a lot of, they don't have everything together.
Nope.
And I think that's what we said maybe last week, or I don't even know if we said it. Maybe we did, that they're trying to kind of more MCU-ify Star Wars.
Yeah, definitely.
Because that seems to be like,
it's bleeding over into Star Wars now.
Yeah, because if you think about it, like Disney doesn't have a really successful method in building a universe other than the MCU.
Yeah.
Like they don't. A lot of their live action movies don't do amazingly.
Yeah.
And other than that, it's their animated projects, and those aren't, those are all one-offs.
Yeah.
So it's like, almost like they're a little too, what is the thing, it's really like Southern saying, it's like they're a little too big for their britches or something like that. Or like they're essentially, they're not ready,
They don't know what to do.
Like clearly from the way that the sequel trilogy played out, like they didn't know what they were doing with that. In my opinion, it turned out okay.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that's a dangerous method. Very dangerous. And now with this whole Disney Plus thing, I was like, I thought they knew what they were doing. At least with Mandalorian, they did. And it seems like they know what they're doing with Clone Wars.
Again, how much of that is having, Jon Favreau as the showrunner and Dave Filoni over Clone Wars.
Yeah.
It's tough to say. I wish we had all the details. Like I feel like 10 years from now we're going to learn more about
absolutely
what was going wrong at Lucasfilm to cause.
They always keep that stuff hush hush, like as it's happening. But then when you're way into the future, then the truth comes out.
It's the one constant is that we know that Kathleen Kennedy is involved in. Like that's the one thing, like, because you have had multiple directors, multiple writers on different projects, but the one constant is that Kathleen Kennedy is producing these films.
Mm-hmm.
Or not, maybe she doesn't have a big role in producing them, but she's in charge of what's getting made, when it's getting made, and she's, hiring directors, firing directors for things. And
it's a common occurrence.
Even with all the production issues, they still managed to put out a decent product. Like, I think of Solo and how, like, atrocious that production was, how they had to reshoot the entire movie with, like, less than a year to go. Yeah. Had no trailer until the very last minute, and they still ended up putting out a pretty good movie. Yeah. And Rogue One went through a lot of that stuff. One of my favorite Star Wars movies is, like...
Yeah, Rogue One went through a lot.
That's where I'm conflicted. I'm like... I want to complain,
honestly, I feel like they're just getting on, like, a lucky streak. Like, that it's turning out okay. Like, inevitably, it's going to be like, all right... This is not.
I mean, for
going
me,
good.
The Last Jedi was that. I was like, oh, this is like different from what they were doing in Episode 7.
Yep.
Even still to this day, like I can in my like head canon, I can take The Last Jedi out and I can watch Episode 7 and 9 and be like, yep, this is it. Like,
I still think like the best stuff that's happened with the new revitalization of Star Wars since Disney's acquisition is like books, comics, and Rebels.
sure, yeah,
Like I feel like that's probably been the most consistent
fair.
stuff because it's like trusted people. I feel like everything else has had like major issues.
Yeah.
And the movies are the things that should not, like, that should be, I don't know if the movie should be their focus now at least, but when the trilogy was coming out, it definitely should have been. And we probably would be in the position where the anthology movies, the a Star Wars Stories
Yep.
movies wouldn't have been scrapped had they
it'd
been
still be getting made.
Yeah, had Solo not have been so just, I mean, if it didn't bomb because
Yeah.
they lost money on that movie.
Yeah,
And if Rogue One had even been just a tad bit better, like, I mean, but it was Solo that, like,
Rogue
and even,
One
like,
still
the
cleared
last-
$1 billion.
Yeah.
It's made more than The Rise of Skywalker so far, even though Rise of Skywalker hit $1 billion. But
I think that was because that was at a time when Star Wars was still so, like, fresh. And it's not
it's
that
the first new thing from Star Wars
Yeah.
too.
it was the first movie that wasn't in the main saga,
Yeah.
too.
Darth Vader helps out with marketing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Darth Vader helps out a ton.
yeah.
I wonder how much money Jedi Fallen Order has made, because you make more money in games. Games is it's known that in the entertainment industry, video games is the most profitable.
Yeah, I mean, it's more
industry.
money per unit, and
Yep.
you
Sales
got
will go
things
on
like
for years. I mean,
DLC
you
and
think of, like,
stuff like that.
GTA is still like, it's like the greatest selling video game of all time,
Yeah.
and it still makes so many
Still
sales.
has a pretty active.
They
fan
still make
base,
new.
too.
They still make new copies of that game.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm curious. Let's see. I don't know if the numbers are out for Jedi Fallen Order. I'm typing this with one hand. Nope.
yeah. I'm kind of curious to see how much it's made.
Jedi Fallen Order. What would a profit or just? Nope.
Just sales.
Let's see, sales. Oh. It says they've sold. Wait, sold is. I don't know. I don't know what that means. I don't get these numbers. Hold on. It's like
That's an old article.
2.14 million copies digitally in November. I don't know. The forecast was that it's supposed to sell between 6 and 8 million copies by the end of March 2020. I don't know what they have. Those numbers are harder to get, I feel like.
I think it's got to be close to like $500 million
Oh yeah, it'll make a lot of money.
when you count in people buying like, what is it, the like deluxe editions or whatever.
Yeah, there
Plus
was the deluxe
regular.
edition, but other than that, like, there weren't any other copies. There wasn't a collector's edition or
Yeah.
anything like that. Yeah,
It's interesting.
I don't know. Anyway, what's next?
Yeah. I think we got bummed out talking about Obi-Wan.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, you like go back to before, and you're just like, we're just like laughing and stuff,
Yeah.
and now we're like,
Like, this sucks, man.
sad Keanu.
I was actually
Reeves.
really sad that day that the news broke for
You
that.
texted me, he's like, dude, this Kenobi stuff bums me out, man. And I was like, for me, I was like, oh, it's not true. It's not true. And you were like, no, Hollywood Reporter reported it. And I was like, no, yeah. Look up the Blade Runner 2049 clip of Agent K freaking out. And
Well, he Ryan Gosling does that in
he
that,
does
like,
that in
clip.
does he do it in The Nice Guys?
Yeah, he did it with that clip with Russell Crowe.
Yeah.
He's like, I never said it. He's
I
like the
love
hey
that.
girl line or whatever.
Yes.
Never said it.
Anyway, that's a good transition. There was a thing. I know that's not the biggest
Oh
thing.
yeah, Blade
but
Runner.
yeah.
Yeah. So Denis Villeneuve, who directed Blade Runner.
It's Denis Villeneuve. I don't know. Actually,
Villeneuve.
maybe it is.
Villeneuve.
No, definitely not. He's French.
Yeah, really great director. He directed Blade Runner 2049. He stated in an interview recently that he'd be interested in kind of just playing with the world again, not making a direct sequel to 2049, but just, having a film,
Yeah.
maybe a spinoff. in that kind of world. I know you like Blade Runner 2049 is like one of your favorite movies of all time, right?
If you're not counting like, you know,
Star
Wars and comic book stuff, like it's probably in my top 3 or top 5.
That's good.
I'd have to figure that out, but yeah, it's one of my favorite movies. It was my favorite movie of 2017.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. So yeah, I love that movie. I actually like got into Blade Runner because of that movie. Like I watched the first one before I went to go see that one because I was like, wow, this movie actually looks incredible. And I just love Denis Villeneuve's stuff.
Every movie he's made is
Arrival.
Great.
He's doing the new Dune movie. He did Prisoners. Oh, Prisoners! I love that movie. I gotta
rewatch that one.
It's so good.
Yeah.
What
Enemy.
else?
I love Enemy.
That one's okay.
I love it.
Actually, it's good, but not my favorite. He did the first Sicario.
That was really good too.
He's done a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
He's a true visionary. One of my favorite directors working today. And the idea that like he says in this quote that like he literally like dreams about it at night, like, and I'm like, dude, that's a sign, man. Like you should make another one. And I don't want a direct sequel, to be clear.
Yeah.
And he doesn't want a direct sequel either. I would love another story set in that universe. It's such an interesting universe, and I feel like it's so criminally underexplored.
Yeah.
There's a comic series about it. They're working on an anime. I know that.
That'd be cool.
And I cannot wait for that because they actually did do a short anime called Blade Runner 20. I think it was like 2021 or something like that. And it was like a year or so after the main events of the first movie. Yeah. And it kind of sets up. They did this entire like short, like these shorts that take place in between the original Blade Runner, which is in 2019, and Blade Runner 2049, which is 2049. So they do like a bunch of shorts in between that, and one of them was an anime. But other than that, like there's not like books or anything, and you know, it's not like Star Wars, but it's a hugely appreciated universe by like hardcore sci-fi nerds.
It's it's one of those things that you're kind of like shocked that it took so long for a sequel or any sort of spin-off, because it was actually like a really popular sci-fi movie at the time.
Yes.
And I think, I don't know if it's just because like the times have changed or what, because the movie didn't do well at the box office.
No,
like
it was a cult classic.
I don't even know if it like even broke even, which is like shocking when you got Harrison Ford, you know, Ryan Gosling, like Jared
Ridley
Leto.
Scott directed it.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
talking about like the sequel.
The sequel.
The fact that
the original didn't do good either.
That one's like a cult classic now. Like a ton of people
the new one didn't do good at all, which is so devastating because it deserved so much better.
That's why I can't get excited for him making these comments, because I'm like, if you couldn't get the sequel to make a lot of money with bringing back, you know, original cast, and
that it kind of plays into that whole, and I get to these debates all the time, but it kind of plays into that whole thing of what Martin Scorsese said about comic book films, and that like it kind of plays to like people don't want to see those movies. People want to see superheroes and Star Wars and like these huge high octane action blockbusters. Yeah. They don't want to see film per se.
Blade Runner 2049 kind of is a spectacle film. It's just not, you know, what we're getting nowadays.
It's not like if you go into that movie expecting this awesome sci-fi action.
Story.
Yes, it is so story driven. It's character driven, and that's what I care about in a film. I get into these like conversations all the time that I'm like, if I was a director, I care so much more about the story and the characters than I do about
first.
Explosions and action and stuff like that.
Yeah.
If you give me a good story, granted, I love great action, and I love, and there is a place for that, you know. Yeah. There is a place for that technical achievement, and so that's why you will often see like my favorite Marvel movies or my favorite even comic book movies are the ones that are so plot heavy and character driven, like Civil War, Winter Soldier, Spider-Man Homecoming, which I think is very character driven in its core, although it is very actiony. They're all like that.
The second half of Homecoming is like so good when it comes to like the character of
Yeah.
Peter Parker. Like
Yeah. Mhm.
it becomes kind of more of a Peter Parker you know,
I also think,
becoming Spider-Man. So yeah, I agree with you with all that
so
stuff.
that's where I'm like, I like finding those things. And even like Doctor Strange,
Yeah.
they nailed his character
Yeah.
very well, and I just love that entire ensemble. So maybe that's why I liked Blade Runner 2049 so much. And I mean, it is. I don't think there's anybody who has said it's a bad. Well, people I'm sure have said it's a bad movie.
Yeah.
But like critically speaking, it's not a bad movie.
Exactly. It's like The Nice Guys.
Yeah.
It's like
Oh man,
really highly rated on Rotten Tomatoes. And
the Ryan Gosling curse. No, I'm kidding.
yeah, and lost a ton of money.
Yeah.
It didn't make its money
Love
back.
that movie, man.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
It's a bummer.
Yeah.
I'd like to see it happen. I'm not sure if it will. Dune sounds amazing. So
I've heard amazing
we got to
things about
support
Dune,
that film.
and I've never even seen the original.
Me either.
And this will be a thing that I'm like, because of Denis Villeneuve, because of the Blade Runner stuff, like the same thing happened with Blade Runner, I will go watch the original
Me
Dune,
too.
and I will go watch this because the cast is amazing, the director is amazing. I'm pretty sure Roger Deakins is doing it.
Yeah.
The score is by that Ludwig Göransson guy who
Gonna
did
be great.
Mandalorian and like Black Panther and all that. Dune and Tenet are probably like my two most anticipated movies by like those like types of directors.
Yeah.
Because Denis Villeneuve is almost like he is another Christopher Nolan in a sense.
He's getting there.
Yeah.
Like the reason Christopher Nolan is so well known now is obviously it's because of The Dark Knight.
Yes.
Like that's what really
before
kinda
Batman
skyrocketed
Begins,
his
I mean,
name.
it was like it wasn't that.
He's kind of
thing.
like who Denis Villeneuve is now.
Mhm.
Like he's just like he's not a well-known name, but people who like film know him
Yep.
because of the great movies that he's done. But
Yeah.
I'm interested to see if they ever do anything with that.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get into the next topic. We're going to talk a little bit about the, I guess, confirmation that Anna Boden and Ryan Fleck are no longer going to be directing the sequel to Captain Marvel. So they directed the first film, of course.
Yeah.
There's also rumors that they may be writing or doing a Disney Plus series. So that could be interesting. But it kind of feels like one of these things where I'm not sure if Marvel Studios was entirely happy with the way Captain Marvel turned out, because it's definitely not their best product that they've put out.
Definitely not.
Yeah. But it was successful, like box office wise.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. None of this gets really any reaction out of me. I'm just kind of like, okay.
I know you don't care about Captain Marvel. It's very well known. I don't really care about Captain Marvel either.
I was about to say, I was like, and you do?
But no, but I would like to.
I would, yeah, I mean, sure.
So if they can find a way, if somebody can find a way for...
It's not that I dislike Captain Marvel. It's just that I just find that entire movie unremarkable.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like,
that's probably the best way to put it.
It's just like nothing stood out to me about any of that character or world. Well, maybe some things stood out to me, but it's not like I'm like thinking about Captain Marvel. Like, I'll be honest with you, I kind of forgot that movie existed.
Yeah,
That's
you
like
kinda
honestly,
do.
like I'm not even like when you brought it up, I was like, Captain. Like I just forgot.
we're like I was thinking in my head, I'm like, what were my favorite comic book movies? Like if I was ranking them last year, and I was
Joker,
thinking about
Endgame,
this, yeah,
and
I
Far
was,
From Home.
yeah, I was thinking about it, and then like I completely forgot that Captain Marvel ever came out last year.
Yeah, I thought there was only 2 MCU movies that came out last year, and then
Yeah.
I was like, oh no, Captain Marvel.
I wonder why. Like, that's why I think that it had to do with the directors, because it's not like they lack the talent, and Marvel Studios like.
What did those 2 directors do? Like
They-
famously, or what are they known for?
Their one movie that was really successful was a movie called Half Nelson. It's a Ryan Gosling movie.
Okay.
So it had also had who's the guy that plays Anthony Mackie in it, but it was it was a really good movie. It's about like a teacher who's addicted to drugs.
Okay.
Who also is also a good teacher at
Yeah.
the same time. So they really could tell a story, but they've never played with this type of like film before,
Yeah.
where it's like a big budget action movie. Let's use green screens, and like they never really did anything with that before.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Is there anyone like off the top of your head where you'd be like, ooh, this person should direct it?
Patty Jenkins.
I was thinking Deborah Chow.
Yes.
Like, I was like, she hasn't done a movie. She's mostly done TV.
Yeah.
Really successful with what she's done with The Mandalorian.
Yeah,
Like,
no, I'm down with that.
Deborah Chow is like my go-to for that.
I agree with that.
Patty Jenkins, of course, like she's proven that she could.
She does Wonder Woman, and I think she does a good job with that. So I feel like Captain Marvel kind of fits in that same vein of Wonder Woman. So maybe that's me. Like,
I think she's just
casting or type.
I think she's like just that's hers. Like Wonder Woman is her thing now.
Yeah.
I can't separate the two from each other.
Well, I just kind of the reason I said that was because James Gunn and Guardians of the Galaxy, and now he's doing Suicide Squad. I'm like, what if Patty Jenkins was like, all right, well, there's not another Wonder Woman thing going on, so let me hop on over to Captain Marvel. I feel like Marvel Studios would probably hire her.
Well, the problem with Patty Jenkins is that she was like technically fired from Marvel Studios already.
What?
Like she almost directed Thor 2, or was Thor 1?
I didn't know about that.
I think it was Thor 2.
Interesting.
Due to like creative differences, they like split.
Oh, I'm so surprised.
Yeah.
Marvel and creative differences with the director? Wow. That's the amount of how much that happens irks me so much.
Yeah.
With Edgar Wright, with Scott Derrickson, I mean, I'm waiting for the day when Taika Waititi has creative differences with.
I will cry. I will literally cry.
He better direct the next Deadpool movie.
He's not. I think it's the same guy is coming back for it. I think that's pretty much confirmed.
I mean, okay, I'm down with that too.
What is his name?
But I just thought I think it'd be a match made in heaven.
I think so too. Like, as soon as I saw Thor Ragnarok, I was like, he's got to do Deadpool now.
Yeah, maybe he'll get a chance to do something with Deadpool.
I think as soon as who directed the first Deadpool again? Tim Miller.
Tim Miller, yes.
As soon as he was fired, I was like, Taika Waititi. I was like, we got to get him for part 2. I made a video about it back then.
Yeah,
and I was like, please, somebody. And it never ended up happening.
No. Just too perfect.
But yeah, opinion. Like back to Captain Marvel. I know there's a ton of people who really like the movie and like that character. I think they could do better is the best way I could put it. And I think Marvel Studios recognizes that it probably wasn't the best match with those directors for that film.
Yeah.
And
I agree.
And someone like Deborah Chow, I think, would just be perfect.
I mean, it's clear that like Marvel has problems with finding the right director for what they need.
Yeah.
And sometimes, but then there's cases where they do find the right director, and then they say screw them anyway. Scott Derrickson.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
No,
that's true.
I'm actually really like I don't know why, but the more time goes on, the more salty I am about that.
Yeah, me too.
I'm like.
I see like Scott Derrickson post on Twitter and I'm like sad.
Yes.
I'm
like
no.
It's really upsetting.
Yeah.
But hey, if he goes back to another horror movie, I'd be so down.
I'd like to see him do a Justice League Dark movie. Get like Constantine, Swamp Thing.
Yeah.
He could do something really trippy, really dark,
Yeah.
Just I feel like that's the move for him,
yeah.
But it's
he's very into that dark weird stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm into that too.
Yeah.
That sounds really weird.
I mean,
that dark weird stuff.
Yeah. I'd really like to see that
Venom
happen.
3.
Nah.
No. I'm kidding. No, I wouldn't want him to do
that. That'd be sad.
You're better than that, Scott Derrickson.
Yeah. I think that's like.
Then again, so is Andy Serkis.
If you left on good terms, then that's just go do another.
Whenever I
movie.
hear that there's creative differences, I'm like, did you guys really leave on good terms though?
I don't think so.
Like
this one, it feels different. Like it didn't feel like a mutual splitting.
No.
It felt like more like Marvel Studios be like, we don't like what you want to do, and then Scott Derrickson's like, well, this is what I want to do. Like you kind of gotta let me make my movie, and it's just like,
yeah, it's just weird considering like how I feel like he got to do a lot with what he wanted to do in the first one. Granted, I don't know, I wasn't there, but.
I think with the first one there was rewrites for humor. Remember about that?
I'm sure
they reshot some things to add in more jokes, which showed that obviously Scott, didn't have that in his original cut of the film.
He's not a very. I wouldn't see him being as a very humorous person.
Yeah,
but it still fit well.
Yeah, it was fine.
I always just kind of like my heart. Well, I say like my heart aches. It doesn't ache, but I'm just like I always just feel a little uneasy when people are like, when they add that kind of stuff in. I'm like, is it sabotaging the creative vision of a director?
Right.
And as someone like, if I was directing that, and then I saw someone who's like, well, let's do this and this, like, it would sting a little.
Yeah.
To be like, oh, well, like that's not what I really wanted to go
Yeah.
with, you know? And that's kind of why I wish, like, while Marvel does have a universal tone, it doesn't have to be, every movie doesn't have to have jokes in it and stuff. I mean, and to be honest, Doctor Strange is pretty funny. Like, it's a pretty funny movie. Like, I laugh a lot, especially with, like, Wong and, like, the Cloak of Levitation and all that. But anyway, that's a whole different thing. But yeah, Deborah Chow for Captain Marvel. Go for it.
Yep.
Please.
We'll start that.
Because I love her.
You heard it here first. We're starting it. We're starting this Deborah Chow for Captain Marvel 2.
Yep. What is that? I don't know what I was about to say.
Yeah, me either.
I was just thinking about like how there's like the release the Snyder Cut and then like make Solo 2 happen and all that. Like now where it's like Deborah Chow for Captain Marvel 2.
I will gladly bear that burden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm there with you.
Yeah.
Make it a little bit lighter. All right. What's the last thing that we got?
Last thing that we're talking about today is Falcon and the Winter Soldier getting a release date for August.
Woo!
Pretty exciting.
I didn't think it was going to be that soon. For some reason I didn't.
That? Well, you heard about the WandaVision thing too, right? How they said that that's coming out this year too.
Did it
They
get pushed
bumped it up. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Marvel's over here like, we're moving things up, and then Star Wars is like, what?
Whoop, settle down.
Yeah. No, I'm so excited for Falcon and Winter Soldier. Like, that's probably what MCU properties come. There's Black Widow,
Eternals,
and
those
Falcon.
are the only films.
And then Falcon and Winter Soldier, now WandaVision. When's Loki come out?
I don't know. It would probably be next year, I'm assuming.
Okay. Then I'm most excited
yeah, it's
for
like
Falcon
at the
and Winter
beginning of
Soldier.
next year.
I'm most excited for Falcon and Winter Soldier. And I'm not going to lie, lately I've been really excited for Loki. I don't know why. So for the record, I'll have to tell her. I won't call her out by name or anything. But I have a coworker.
Do it.
No.
Listen here, Rachel. We know you're listening.
Yeah, Rachel. Rachel. No. Anyway, there's a girl at work, and we're good friends, and she's like a huge Loki fan.
Okay.
And at first, like when we like first met, I was like, Loki, like whatever, like he's fine. And like lately, she's like rubbed off on me, where I'm like, oh, I really like Loki, and so like. You know how Instagram listens to you?
Yes.
So, like, whenever I start talking about stuff and, like, we'll be talking about different things at work, like, the next couple days after that, I'll start getting stuff in my feed. And so, like, I had something in my feed about Loki.
Yeah.
And it was actually, like, one of the funniest, like, jokes. And, like, he's the best part of Thor the Dark World. And that's, like, when he's, like, when there's a part where, like, Jane, like, falls over and collapses.
Yeah.
And, and he goes, just like, oh my, is she dead? It's like, I'm like, I love Loki so much. Like, I love that type of humor.
It's Tom Hiddleston.
Tom
dude.
Hiddleston, man. He's so great.
I'm telling you, like, I never appreciated him until he started doing the press tour for Infinity War, and he knew everything about Marvel. Like, all the questions people would ask, he would, like, give well thought out, detailed answers about, like, stuff. And I'm just like, dude, I'm like, you're not even in half of these movies, and you just know everything. I was like, respect to you.
He's a true one. He's a real one.
Yeah.
Like, he is a true, like, comic fan, and also he's just, like...
He's like a student.
Yeah, he's also he's just... Man, he's, like, embodies Loki.
Yeah.
I still think daily... Not daily. I don't think daily. I still think about that all the time of when he's up on that stage when they were doing, like, I think for Thor the Dark World or whatever for Comic-Con, and he came out in character. Like, that's still such an awesome moment. But
it's like iconic. It's up there with, like, Andrew Garfield for Spider-Man.
Man, that was so good.
That was like one of the best moments
when he takes off the mask and he's like, yeah, God, that's so good too.
One of the greatest moments.
Yeah. So I'm actually really excited for Loki, but that's next year. But yeah, Falcon and Winter Soldier. Those leaked set photos of Wyatt Russell as U.S. agent. Dope.
I actually forgot he was in this show until I saw the photos.
Yeah,
and I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah, and I love him.
Yeah, he's cool.
I think you liked that movie Overlord a lot, didn't you?
Yeah, that movie was awesome.
Yeah, For me, it was like I enjoyed it, but I didn't love it. I just thought it was like that was a good movie.
Yeah.
I like him a lot from Black Mirror.
He was good in that. That's one of my favorite episodes he was in.
That is my favorite episode of that show.
What was the name of that episode?
Playtest.
Yeah, Playtest.
Season 3.
Dude, that one was wild.
It's
I want
crazy.
to rewatch that.
Yeah.
It was good.
I've watched that episode like 3 or 4 times, and that's pretty much the only episode I will rewatch because like it's also one of the least like it's messed up, but it's the least like dark, I guess, where it's not like it's not gory or it's not like overly sexual or anything, which a lot of Black Mirror is.
Yes.
And sometimes I just like have a hard time watching that stuff
because
I'm
cool
like
story.
Yeah,
like,
it's just a really cool story, and especially because I'm so invested in like in video games and like that world.
Yeah.
It hits all the markers. But he was great in that episode. Also, he's Kurt Russell's son. I don't know if you knew that or not.
Yeah.
But yeah. So it's interesting that like Kurt Russell
identical.
is like was Ego, and now his son is in it, but not playing his actual son. He's playing a totally different character. I hope he's not a bad guy. I hope he's like.
I think he will be.
I don't want him to be because he's not going to be like a villain. I feel like he's going to be more of like
annoying. I think he's gonna be like some annoying prick.
But I hope he has like an arc, where people like. I hope he's kind of like Steve in Stranger Things, where it's like people are like, "Oh, I hate you," and then later on he's like, "Oh, I really like you."
I could honestly see him being more of like the, like, Eddie Brock type character from Spider-Man 3.
Oh my God! Don't say that.
Like, I could see him just being this annoying like dude that wants to be Captain Marvel or Captain America.
He wants to be
wannabe.
Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. His suit design is awesome. I love how it's like. The coolest thing about it, which they should have done with Captain America, is so one of my biggest nitpicks of Captain America's costume because it's so dumb. I mean, I like the way that they did it originally in like the first Avenger. Mm-hmm. The A on his head, man. The more that you think about it, when you go back and watch the movies, you're like, that is so stupid.
It's corny.
Like if you take off the A, it looks fine.
Yeah.
Like, or at the very least, put a star on there. But what they did with U.S. Agent is it's a star with an A in it.
Yeah. I didn't notice.
So
that.
it's like a star, but the A is like like the kind of the triangle going down, or like the points going downward, and it looks really cool.
That's awesome.
So yeah.
Yeah, the suit does look good.
But then obviously I'm sure he's gonna be like, no, I'm the new Captain America. Falcon,
so I heard like the government confiscated the shield.
Yeah.
From Sam, and now
such a bunch of bullies.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I don't know. But I mean, Falcon's. Have you seen any of the leaked set photos for like Bucky and stuff?
Yeah.
Dude,
yeah.
Bucky looks awesome.
Yeah.
And it's like, so his like leaked set photos was like, was going more back to his like first Avenger look. But then I've seen, or not his leaked set photos, that art that leaked, and it looks really good. But now I've seen some set photos where he's got like a leather jacket, and then like the yellow, like the arm with like the yellow on it, which is so dope. It's so cool. I love his new metal arm. I don't know. And it's pretty cool. I'm hyped for Winter Soldier for him to get more of him.
I'm hyped just to see that chemistry again with Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Like they're so cool.
The more we talk about it, I'm like, like that was such a. I'm just for the longest time. I don't know if I've ever told you this. For the longest time, the Winter Soldier was my favorite MCU character.
No, you haven't told me that.
Until I want to say until probably Spider-Man came along, he was my favorite.
That's awesome.
Maybe Iron Man. It was like Winter Soldier and Iron Man.
Yeah.
Were right there. And because I liked him because I was like, he was kind of like the misunderstood, not misunderstood, but like kind of like the tragic villain.
Yeah.
Where it's like, it's not even like that it's like, oh, all these bad things happened to him and he became the villain. It's like he's not even aware that he is a villain.
Right.
And that's what I liked about him. And then he kind of gets like, not as much of a redemption arc because he's like, he does have to redeem himself, but more so of like he has to find himself. And
for sure,
I'm a sucker for those kind of stories of like finding yourself.
Definitely.
And all that. So yeah. And I still love the Winter Soldier. I think he's probably still my like top 5. I'd say it's like number 1. Well, in the MCU, it's different than real characters. I would say like number 1, probably, I mean, it had to be Tony Stark in terms of just like development and stuff, Then probably Thor.
Interesting.
Then maybe Bucky at 3.
Yeah.
Then Doctor Strange, then Spider-Man, probably. there's a lot of characters in the MCU I like, man. I like War Machine. I like Ant-Man. Like, there's all these characters that I really like.
Almost every character. In terms of like best,
you can get along.
arcs,
Like
though.
Bruce
Like,
Banner is a great character. There's like I'm thinking of Endgame, and I'm like all the characters that are in that, and I'm like, it's hard.
I tweeted this out a couple weeks ago, and I was like, the more I think about it, Thor actually is like one of the strongest character arcs.
So good.
Because remember, I didn't really like it after Endgame.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't really like what they did with him.
You thought it was like a joke. I remember we got
Yeah,
a
I
debate
just seemed
about
like
that.
he was just like the butt of every joke. And now I'm like, he is, but now I see like, you start to see like the build up to where he was going in terms of like becoming a drunk and alcoholic, essentially. Like you see that actually throughout all of the movies, how he's like, he was very much into like drinking beer and stuff like that. You see it from
That's just
Thor
in like
Ragnarok.
Asgardian culture. You
Yeah,
know?
and you even see it in Age of Ultron where he's carrying around the flask. Obviously, like it's a big part of him, and then it just becomes where it's like the only part of him at that point in time. Like that's all he indulges in. And
yeah, and I mean he has nothing left. So
yeah, I mean it's a tough thing, but that line of, you know, it's time for me to be who I am rather than who I'm meant to be.
yeah,
Just like recently really like started like hitting me, and I was just like, what a beautiful like teaching moment that he got from his mother, which he desperately needed.
she's a great character too.
Yeah,
one of the I saw this thing. It was like one of the only like Asgardians you don't get annoyed with.
Yeah,
It's like it was like him and Heimdall, or it was her and
Heimdall.
Frigga and Heimdall. And
Yeah.
I'm like, yep,
it's true.
pretty much.
Yeah, great arc.
Yeah, I think probably my one wish from the MCU is that we had. Well, I don't know if it's not my one wish, but like we had gotten a better Thor trilogy.
Yeah,
But I mean, we're on a good way with with Thor 4 now
the
and stuff.
the only movie character to get a fourth movie. It's cool.
Yeah, that's a big thing, and I think just because we finally kind of like reached the potential of, and I think also you kind of have to attribute Infinity War and Endgame to Thor's character, because it's like if you just watch those Thor, like the 3 Thor movies, and then you go straight to Thor 4, you're not going to get the full story of Thor.
Right.
Like Thor is very front and center in both Infinity War and Endgame.
Absolutely.
Mostly Infinity War, I would say.
It still blows my mind that Chris Hemsworth was like so done with the character until Taika came along and like revamped him.
Dude, added so much life, breathed new life into it.
Well, it's like Chris Hemsworth really got to be himself with the character.
Yeah.
For like the first time, and it was like, I remember like he said in an interview, he was like, when Taika called him about directing the film, Chris was like straight up was like, I'm kind of sick of my character, and Taika was like, yeah, me too. Like we're gonna do something different, and I thought that was so cool. And now we're like, wow, he went from like, I don't know if I want to play this character anymore, other than what I'm contractually obligated to do.
But then like loving,
and then
man.
now he's like, let's do a fourth one. Like we're having so much fun doing this. I'm really pumped about that. Like Thor is like, he's, now that Captain America's gone and Iron Man is gone, you kind of got like Thor is kind of that.
The last of the main 3.
Of that foundation.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm so excited for that movie. But overall, I think, I'm excited for Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
We kind of went just the full MCU. I feel like we haven't talked about the MCU in a while.
We've been doing a lot of Star Wars.
Yeah, so it's kind of good to get. I don't know why, but I associate this room that we're recording in a lot with MCU stuff, because we recorded Far From Home review and like a lot of the summer stuff.
We were like over the summer we were like heavily MCU.
Yeah.
Because like DC sucks and Star Wars was not as good as it was supposed, going to get.
Yeah.
But speaking of DC, we have the Harley Quinn movie coming out next week. We'll eventually get a review out for that.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna go. Well, I gotta ask you if you want to go see it with us, but I'm probably gonna see that with some classmates. I have this one friend, and she loves Margot Robbie.
Yeah. You told me about.
She even kind of looks like her a little bit, but I was like,
okay, I'll be there. I'm just kidding.
She's got a boyfriend. Sorry.
It's stupid.
But yeah, I'm like, please, like, maybe if I watch it with you, you can give me something to enjoy, because it feels like it doesn't feel as much like Suicide Squad again in terms of like the marketing and stuff. It does, but it feels more like.
Okay,
Venom
I saw a
again.
freaking clip. I saw a clip on Twitter, and I should have saved it.
Was it the one that I sent you?
No, it was a different one. It's only 15 seconds long.
Okay.
And it looked like a Burger King commercial. Like there was like somebody making a sandwich, and I was like, oh, this must be like some sort of, a collab advertisement. You know how they do with
Burger
movies?
King for lettuce.
And it was like awful. I was like, holy crap. I'm like, that's an actual TV spot for this movie. I can't wait to talk crap about this movie.
It's not looking good. Yeah, that's definitely not the mindset we should be going in.
I hope that it's good, but I don't really care that much. I mean, like I like. Black
my
Canary
expectations are so low that like it has to be better.
You know what? I'm just not a big Harley Quinn fan. I just need to say it.
Yeah.
Like I'm just not a huge Harley Quinn fan.
I'll say I used to be until Suicide Squad.
Really?
Yeah. Like I mean, they pretty much like made her the sex appeal of, of that movie, and I'm like, Harley Quinn is just so much more than that,
Yeah.
And that's why I've never been a big fan of like, I'm gonna sound like such a feminist right now or something, but I've never been a fan of like these outfits that are really skimpy or anything. I'm like if a woman's gonna fight, like I want her to have like some awesome armor or something, like I don't want these like just like nothing with these bikinis or whatever. And
She's
I'm
literally
like,
wearing underwear in Gotham, running around like
she's got a bomber jacket, like a half of a torn tank top, and underwear. And in this movie, she does have more, and like it's a cool look. But like then it just kind of turns her character into like, all right, Harley Quinn's hot, like that.
Yeah.
And then they started to rub that off in like the comics and stuff.
Yeah.
And it was like, I miss the days when it was Harley Quinn back in like the original or the animated series and stuff.
Assault on Arkham is like a really good portrayal of the character. Even the Batman games are pretty
Arkham
decent.
games?
Yeah.
That
They're
last
decent.
one, Arkham Asylum, the whole Nurse Harley thing was a little much, I'll say. But I like her a lot in Arkham City.
Yeah.
I think she's awesome in that. And then Arkham Knight, she's all right. She's not in Origins.
It's not the best character.
It's just a weird, like, Harley Quinn is just such a strange character. But I think Margot Robbie is the perfect Harley Quinn. I will say that. Like, she's good. She's really good as that character.
She has passion for it.
Yes.
This is really her project. I mean, I know
yeah.
that there's another director, but it's definitely like
I think
thing.
she's like one of those people that like really cares about that character, and the more acting I do in these like small short films and stuff, the more I'm like, I get that. Like I get being like an actor. There's sometimes an actor as like people who act dread characters, and then sometimes they get really behind the characters, and it's kind of cool. But anyway, I think it's it. We've talked for a long time.
Yeah, that's going to do it for this episode. Thank you guys so much for listening. Be sure to rate, review, subscribe, follow us at comicblast_ on Instagram and Twitter. My personal account is at Keenan Creates. Grayson, what's yours?
At Schradester8 on Twitter and at Schradester25 on Instagram.
Heck yeah. So next week we'll be talking about some Super Bowl ads.
Wait, when's the Super Bowl?
Next Sunday. This coming Sunday.
I guess
we'll
we
get
will
some
be.
trailers.
Probably
Maybe we'll get something for Falcon and the Winter Soldier. That'd be cool.
I've heard some stuff about WandaVision, possibly.
Yeah.
That'll be the time for them to hype
Definitely
up
some
Disney
Black
Plus
Widow.
Stuff. Oh, yeah. Definitely Black Widow.
Yeah.
Maybe... no. I was about to say, I was like, DC stuff? No.
I can't think of anything.
No DC stuff.
Unless they decide to drop the Wonder Woman trailer.
Oh!
I'm not sure.
Well, that actually might not be bad. It's been a while since that. Well, not a while. It'll probably be a little bit longer, unless they do like some sneak peek thing.
Yeah.
I just don't see. I feel like DC would want to utilize that with Wonder Woman being such a big character. I don't know. It's hard to say.
The biggest audience.
Normally they get reports come out beforehand and stuff, so we'll see.
It'll be interesting. There'll be something. There'll be some surprises for sure.
Venom 2?
Venom 2? That would be cool.
I
don't even know if they're filming that or not.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
They have to be, right?
I don't know.
Well, if Batman started filming, but then how... Oh, that's an interesting contradiction there. They have to be done filming. It comes out this year.
It does. But like, I haven't heard anything come out about that.
I'm going to have to look this up after the show. But
yeah. Awesome. Thank you guys for listening. We will talk to you guys next week.
All right.